Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, a.k.a. Mazuma TV. Back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're going to talk about Shawn Porter getting cooked by Devin Haney in a series of tweets that he had put out, along with Devin Haney having a back and forth with Conor Benn and my thoughts on the whole situation. Then we're going to talk about Terence Crawford's words in regards to Shakur Stevenson beating the fuck out of Teofimo Lopez. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's in the building thus far. If y'all can go ahead and hit the like button on the way in, that'd be very much appreciated. My apologies for coming on late. I did fall asleep as I was putting my son to sleep, so I woke up pretty late. You feel what I mean? But we back in the mix. You feel what I mean? We're going to get this show on the road. I appreciate everybody that stood patient and stood by waiting for your boy to go live. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to the boy Shay in the building. What's going on, brother? How we feeling? With the first comment. What's going on? What's going on? 88 Sports Talk. What up? Chris Maldonado, my high school brother. What's going on, champ? How we feeling? How we feeling? How's y'all day been? I can't lie. I'm feeling pretty good, man. Today was my day off from work and all that. Woke up sick, man. My son had got me sick. So I've been on that DayQuil and that NyQuil. I'm feeling all right, though. I can't complain, bro. You know what I mean? We just got to get through it like how we do any other time. You feel me? Coffee Plant, what up? What's going on? We already got double digits in the building. I'm assuming the notifications got sent out. I mean, shout out to YouTube for doing their thing. You feel me? There's been a lot of things that's been going on, man. I'm seeing, like I was saying yesterday, Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith most likely is going to be a go. Considering the fact that Subriel's, ostarine levels was lower than what was prohibited by the New York State Athletic Commission. I think what it really is going to come down to is whether the WBC is going to rule him guilty or not guilty. Historically, they've always ruled fighters not guilty for intentionally taking substances. So most likely that fight with Dalton Smith is going to be a go. And I wonder how that's going to affect Dalton Smith psychologically. You know what I mean? I wonder how he's going to feel. I wonder how Subriel is going to feel psychologically going into the fight. That's going to be very interesting to see. Seeing Ryan Garcia do a little live as well, speaking about his fight with Mario Barrios going down in February. What else? There was a few things that I saw. There was a few things, but we definitely going to talk about it as we go along. You feel what I'm saying? J Cash, what up? Shay, what's going on, brother? He said if it was a Mexican, they would let it slide. It's gonna be very interesting to see because if they don't let him slide, then that's gonna spark a lot of outrage. I mean, y'all let Oscar Valdez continue fighting after he was caught in the middle of the camp with what was that? Robeson Conceição with PEDs and system. They allowed him to fight. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, man. It's going to be very interesting to see how they go about this. J Cash, we definitely locked in, brother. I appreciate you, man. So, we about 4 minutes in. Salute to everybody in the chat. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. We're going to start with the Shawn Porter situation. Devin Haney just addressing all of that because I'm one of the people that have been highly critical of Shawn Porter in the past, man. I've criticized him when he made that statement about Jaron Ennis being overrated, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous because he actually had put out another interview, he had put out an interview prior to that saying that Boots was too much. He had too many, good things going on, like in terms of skill set and stuff. So it was like contradicting statements on Shawn Porter's behalf. What else has he said? And then, I criticized him, a while back for him alluding to, him like pretty much throwing Devin Haney under the bus. You feel what I'm saying? Because they brought up snack and all this stuff. He was like, yeah, he definitely was snack as if he wasn't a snack athlete himself. You know what I mean? So Shawn Porter just be on some weirdo shit, man. Like very wish-washy. I feel like he changes like with the season. He changes in accordance to who's in front of him. And to me, that's just a fake motherfucker, man. And to be real, I feel like, he feels a way about Devin Haney for some reason. You know what I mean? Just based off of things that I've seen in the past. You feel what I mean? So Yeah, man, we gonna get into that because Devin Haney, he didn't hold back on him. He didn't hold back on Shawn Porter. He shouldn't have, to be honest, because Shawn Porter ain't never give that man the benefit of the doubt. So why are we going out our way to say this nigga? You feel me? So here's Shawn Porter having this little, I guess on his little bum ass podcast. We just had an interview with him. If you ain't see that, go check it out. He was sitting there with Sean Sattel. It looks like Tiger Johnson along with Shawn Porter. And this is Shawn Porter's statement. And, I guess this is his reaction to, Devin Haney defeating Brian Norman. Let's get into it.
I said, Dev's got his career. I said, Dev's got still has something in the tank. I said, the best version of Devin shows up. Now Norman's gonna have some big issues, and it just so happened that it went that way. You know, funny enough, like I'm on record for saying that Devin didn't want this fight in the first place. I don't think that they did.
Right. So I remember you saying that, and I'm glad you acknowledged that because I might have forgot if you didn't. You did say that you don't believe that Devin Haney wants this fight with Brian Norman, which is, that's not even something that you could prove in all honesty. Because when Bill Haney came out with that list and mentioned names of fighters that they were looking to fight, Brian Norman was on the list. Of course, he was trying to get the Teofimo Lopez fight because that was a bigger, lucrative fight. You know what I mean? They have a storyline and all that shit. They've been getting at it with each other since 135. For real, they probably, like, when they first both became world champion, that was when people started building up the fight and shit like that. It might have been before they were world champion. But regardless, that was a fight that he wanted. Teofimo Lopez did what he did, ducked. So Brian Norman was the next option, along with, Devin Haney and his team being optimistic and facing Boots. Boots moved up to 54. All right, cool. So what's the next one? Brian Norman. So I don't really see an instance where you could really say that Devin Haney and his team didn't want the fight. You feel what I mean? That's just, you're alluding to Devin Haney being a duck. And Devin has never really shown that historically throughout his career. So I don't understand where that's coming from. But let's continue.
I'm hearing that it was on record that he was on the list, that Brian Norman was on the list. Can't imagine he was number one on the list, but this ended up being a fight.
Who gives a fuck about whether he's number one or not? If he's on the list, I mean, you can't fight everybody at one time, so you're going to be critical of the man because he wasn't at the top of the list. He's on the list nonetheless, so you got to give a man credit for even pursuing somebody dangerous in Brian Norman.
I felt like this was the smoke and the mirrors effect when it was first announced, and we want this who we want. And I think that when it first started to happen, this isn't what they wanted first. Yeah. Not to say we don't want this. Yeah. This ain't just what we want first. Yeah.
So because he asked for additional drug testing, you took that as him not wanting to fight? Or is it that Devin Haney got fucked over in the past by somebody who was on performance enhancement drugs, so he's trying to save himself moving forward, you know what I mean, moving more correctly because he doesn't want history to repeat itself for his career, because that was a very hard thing to come back from a mental aspect and from a business aspect if you're Devin Haney. You know what I mean? When you lost, you know what when you initially took the loss, it got ruled a no contest later after, but that was hard to bounce back from. You were questioning yourself, you was questioning your team, you was questioning your ability to take a shot, you know what I mean? Then you found out you're cheated. You know what I mean? You try to come back to the table to get a fight, everybody's lowballing you. If it wasn't for Turkey Al-Sheikh, Devin Haney would be in a rough spot. That's just being honest. He was able to do a 180 with his win over Brian Norman. He doesn't want to go through that situation again. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want his career to fall victim to another fucking drug cheat. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, why try to make it seem like if they're asking for additional drug testing, it's something that they want in place because, when they had regular drug testing in the past, somebody was able to get off on them. And there is such thing as motherfuckers cycling off of PEDs, and by the time it gets out of their system, they're already reaping the benefits of it. So I never understood why they looked at that as some sort of cop-out. I just see them being smart.
Eventually want to get there, but we want to hype this thing up. We want to
Right.
do this. We want to do that.
Right.
And it ended up having to be the first fight for him. It's probably best that they got him now than they got him later.
That is true.
His career.
So this is the so this dude Shawn Porter is a world-class hater, bro. So you start by saying that they was trying to cop out of the fight by asking for additional drug testing. Then you go out the way, you see that they put him on the list, but I don't think he was the first one on the list. So then, what was this shit he just said? They said he was looking to cop out. No, he felt like they didn't want the fight in the first place. Then he acknowledged that they were on the list, which means that they did want him in the first place. They didn't want to fight him. Then they said he wasn't at the top of the list. So then he ends up fighting Brian Norman. They asked for additional drug testing. Shawn Porter saying that that's some sort of cop out. But now that he fights Brian Norman and he beats Brian Norman, I guess it's best that he beat him this early in his career. Man, knock it the fuck off. They act like Devin Haney fought this man like at a low point in his career or when he wasn't a world champion. No, he fought Brian Norman when he came off of multiple title defenses and the biggest one, the biggest knockout of his career. Probably the knockout of the year when Brian Norman's confidence was at an all-time high. You ain't hear a single doubt. You know what I mean? You ain't hear a single doubt in Brian Norman's energy or tone that made you believe that he wasn't ready for the moment. Devin Haney's experience prevailed. His skill set prevailed. Give him credit as a result of that. You see what I mean? So Shawn Porter has been constantly taking shots at Devin Haney. Devin Haney's been staying quiet, working on his craft, motivating himself with the bullshit that y'all putting themselves out here. And now Devin Haney got time. So this was Devin Haney's reaction to the whole situation. He says, couch full of yes men, coon bitch ass niggas I've made and accomplished more than all of them put together. So he flexing on them because they talking shit about him. And to be real, he is more accomplished than everybody that's on that couch. No disrespect to Bruce Carrington, he's still making his way. He could do some phenomenal things in his career. Same thing goes in line with Tiger Johnson. Tiger Johnson's coming off the biggest win in his career. Bruce Carrington, he's coming off one of the most polished wins of his career. So they're both on the way up. Shawn Porter, he was a 2-time world champion. Devin Haney's more accomplished than Shawn Porter. You know what I'm saying? 3-division world champion, 6 world titles amongst 3 different weight classes. You know what I'm saying? So, Devin Haney's not necessarily wrong, but he is flexing. But he's flexing because y'all went out of your way to disrespect him. There's somebody I don't know who this is, but somebody by the name of Adam's Boxing Show responds to Devin Haney. He said, I would like to see you go on their show and other platforms like us to discuss criticism. This type of remark towards them isn't the way a great champ like you should carry things. Holla at us. We here. We are different. Now, I don't know who this dude is, but the fact that you're telling another man how to go about a situation, and you're pretty much saying that he's not going about things as a great champ. You pull out a fucking book right now and you tell me how the way a champ is supposed to act. Are you marginalizing how the way champions should go about doing things in their life, in their personal life? You show me. Is there a guideline on how to approach things as a world champion? Y'all act like these motherfuckers ain't humans because they champion. They supposed to be robots. Nah, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Shout out to my boy Islam is True 76 in the building with the $10 super chat, man. I appreciate that very much. He says, just want to show your channel some love. Definitely one of the best boxing channels out there, bro. I appreciate that very much, man. Thank you. You know what I mean? When I ain't feeling motivated or when I'm struggling to find my way on the StreamYard to chop it up with the nation, things like this keep me going. I appreciate, and I got a lot of love for all of y'all for consistently supporting the channel. You feel what I mean? Shout out to the boy Islam is Truth. You know what I mean? Been a big supporter ever since, stumbling across Mazuma TV. So thank you very much, brother. God bless. How do you say God? Like, I know, obviously you're Muslim. What's the equivalent of saying, like, God bless you in Islam? Because I don't want to be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So educate me, brother, so I could, you know what I mean, show you love in your way. You feel me? Let me know. Shout out to my boy Islam is Truth, though. Yeah, I mean, but to continue on with what Adam's Boxing Show says, I don't think he necessarily said anything like disrespectful or offensive, but at the same time, it's like this type of remarks towards them isn't the way a great champ like you should carry things. You don't tell another man. I hate how motherfuckers poke at you, right? And this is just like something that just goes on in life. They poke, right? And then you respond to being poked, and then they telling you wrong. They telling you wrong for how the way you respond to being poked. No, fuck that. Why are you going out of your way to fuck with me? Why are you bothering me? Why do you feel the need to disrespect me every chance you get? And then when I respond or I retaliate, now I'm the bad guy. No, fuck y'all. You feel what I'm saying? And fuck you for, trying to paint me in a negative light. My boy Jalil with the $2 super chat. What's going on, brother? He says Shawn Porter is full of it, bro. He is full of it. He try to play behind like that nice guy shit, but he's a hater. He's a hater. And you want to know when I knew Shawn Porter was a hater? When he was mad, he a Saudi motherfucker too. He was Saudi that whole Errol Spence, build up and the post-fight press conference. This is sore loser Saudi shit. You know what I mean? And he was like super corny, like, oh, I brought this guy to the fight. Man, Errol Spence fought your fight, beat you, left with your belt. You know what I mean? Left with your belt and for real. And you was talking about, oh man, you know what I mean? Like, I brought this person to the fight. I sold this fight. Like, Shawn, you ain't never sell a fight in your life. You never been a big star. The only time you've been a part of big fights is when you fought top guys in the division. Like, you ain't never sell no tickets. When you been a bona fide ticket selling ass nigga, you ain't never been that. You ain't never been there. Errol Spence told you to your face that you could even sell out your own family dinner. That shit is wild. But at the end of the day, I see what he talking about. You've never been a star. PBC ain't ever send you to Ohio to sell no tickets, nigga. Shit. What the fuck is you talking about? The way Shawn Porter carried the post-fight press conference after the Errol Spence loss, I knew he was a weirdo from there, like a hater. I knew he was Saudi. You know what I mean? Because like you lost, but y'all broke bread. Y'all put on a good fight for the boxing world. Like, what's the problem? Bullies, what up, brother? Junior, what up? Anonymous was like, my boy Anonymous in the building. He said, yeah, I think today specifically, Devin was fed up and was just let everyone get a piece of his mind. And with the year he had and the win he got, he's allowed to. Facts. He definitely deserves it. He definitely deserves it. Like he could talk whatever shit he want to talk. That's called, what's that called? Bragging rights. When you win, you got bragging rights. You go about shit however you want to go about it. Could Devin have stayed silent? Yeah, but at the end of the day, a lot of artists and boxers, boxing is an art to boxers, right? And artists are usually sensitive about their work. Like if you tell a rapper that his raps ain't good, they're gonna get offended. If you tell a singer that they can't sing that well, their music ain't that good, they're gonna get offended. If you tell a painter that his painting don't look good, they're gonna get offended because they take time to perfect their craft. They put their heart and soul into their work. So when you tell them some negative shit, or they're gonna get sensitive about it because it means everything to them. So when you got a boxer who devoted his whole life to the craft, and you consistently criticizing him for things that he's done in the ring or things he's done outside of the ring or whatever, like yeah, they're gonna feel a way about it. I understand it. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, I just I didn't mind what Adam's boxing show said. If he has a great boxing show, it is what it is. Shout out to him. But the fact that you over here trying to marginalize this man and how the way he should carry things, like who are you? Who are you to tell me how the way a great champ should carry things? You've never been one, but I have. And I've never known every great champion for acting the same. Hector Camacho was a great champion. He didn't act the same way Sugar Ray Leonard did. Sugar Ray Leonard was a great champion. He didn't carry shit how the way Floyd Mayweather did. Floyd Mayweather was a great champion. He didn't carry shit how the way Mike Tyson did. Mike Tyson was a great champion. He didn't carry shot the way Muhammad Ali did. So what are we talking about? What do you like? You just trying to find a way to tell me how to do shit. You can't. Y'all niggas think y'all know shit, and y'all don't know shit. That's how I look at it. Devin Haney follows up and says, "You cannot tell me how to respond," which is exactly what I said. That's the funny part. Shawn Porter been bashing me for years. I was 14, 15, 16 sparring him for $200 to $300 when he was in his prime fighting for world titles. So he was sparring Shawn since he was 14. That's before he was pro. I didn't know that. He got the nerve to say something about Victor Conti and Snack, which I also remember because when they brought that shit up, he was like, "Yeah, man, yeah, man, yeah, he on that snack pack, man." Whole time I remember Shawn Porter being a snack athlete, but Devin Haney goes as far to say he got the nerve to say something about Victor Conti and Snack. He the one who introduced me to Victor. I could go on and on. You speaking on something you know nothing about, which is what I just said. So Devin's totally in the right. How would you bash me? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that, bro? Can you imagine a motherfucker putting you on to some shit and then later on criticizing you for being on that shit or following through with that shit? That's the equivalent of your homie work at McDonald's. You need some cash flow. You need some bread. So he put you on the fryers with him. You over here putting fries in the bag with this nigga. He put you on. Right? Yeah, I mean, he ended up retiring, doing his thing or whatever. You know, and now he running around talking about, man, that nigga ain't nobody, man. That nigga at McDonald's, man. That nigga working at McDonald's, man. Nigga, you the one who put me on McDonald's, and now you shitting on me for working at McDonald's, nigga. The only reason why I'm at McDonald's is because you put me on. This the same shit. How you gonna tell me? How the fuck Shawn look telling a nigga, oh man, you know he dealing with that snake. All right, so what that say about you and your career? Because I remember Paulie Malignaggi was out here saying that he felt like you was on performance enhancement drugs. And we all came to, like, I remember I came out to defend him. I'm like, Paulie bugging. What he talking about? He ain't got no definitive proof of that. You feel what I'm saying? We protected you when them PED rumors was out against you. And Paulie was out here saying he's on that shit. I never fought anybody like that. We defended you. Here you go, retired. And I see this common theme, like when niggas retire, they be hating on the niggas that be on the come up. I don't understand that shit. But regardless, we defended you in that situation. You gave this nigga the connect. You connected this nigga with Victor Conti, bro. You're the reason why he deals with Snack. And here you go talking shit about him, basically alluding to him being on some type of performance enhancement drugs because he working with Victor Conti, who was known for teaching motherfuckers how to, use steroids, Shane Mosley, right? So what does that say about you? I'm surprised nobody said that. Yo, John, if I was on my son life, if I was sitting on that sofa while he said that shit, I'm like, yo, Shawn, wasn't you with Snack too? How did I would have asked him that because I didn't know. I didn't know that Shawn Porter put Devin on the Snack. So now you just sound stupid. If this is the facts and what Devin Haney is saying is true, that Shawn connected Victor Conti with Devin Haney, you're an absolute fool. You're a fucking clown, bro. You're an absolute clown if that's the reality. And I'm glad Devin Haney put that out there. You put me on with McDonald's. Now you shitting on me. You trying to shit on my name saying that I work at McDonald's. You trying to call me some type of butt. Nigga, you brought me here. I would have never been here if it wasn't for you. Now you criticizing me for some shit you put me on to. The fuck? Man, get Shawn Porter the fuck out of here, bro. Never liked that nigga anyway. Swag ass. Tires be fat as shit. Clothes be tighter than the motherfucker. Head big. Braids dingy than a motherfucker. Small as hell. Braids don't even touch the back of his neck. Teeth all big. Don't fit in his mouth. Like, get this nigga the fuck up out of here, bro. Ain't nobody ever liked Shawn. There's nothing to like about him. Nigga. Bro, Shawn Porter has had the most corniest dress game in boxing history. Like you literally dress like the deacon's fucking bisexual son. That's how you dress. You dress like the deacon at your local church, bisexual son. Shawn Porter looked like he dressed like he liked dick. Like I'm sorry, like that's how the way you look. That's how the way you look. This ain't water. This Crystal Light. Fuck out of here. Shawn Porter crib ain't got no electricity because he chew on all the wires over there. Nigga, whole hood ain't got electricity because Shawn Porter chewing on the fucking electrical wires outside. Big mouth motherfucker. As many times as you got punched in your mouth, I'm surprised all your teeth still in there. This nigga got rolled teeth like a great white. Like one bitch fall out and the other one just come back and just take his place. Motherfucking teeth look like a DMV line. Fuck out of here. Fuck Shawn Porter. Hating ass nigga. Dev just called out Rolly. Did he really? Oh, Devin on a spree right now. We was about to talk about Devin Haney and Conor Benn that ass. We was about to get into it with him. But let's refresh Devin Haney's page to see what he said. Let's see what Dev said. I ain't see him say that. Where he say that? Tiger Johnson said, nigga try to talk crazy to me, but out here suing niggas and his bitch. Nigga, use a hoe. I'll slap you in front of your date. Nigga, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. I don't believe you, Tiger. I don't think you like that, brother. Why you ain't slap Hitchens when he was in front of you? You ain't slapping nobody, cuz. Because if you was really a crash out, niggas would have took care of you a long time ago, cuz. Cut it out. I hate these niggas when they be acting like they put belt the ass on sight. Like, nigga, stop it. You ain't doing that. We don't believe you. The only nigga that I seen do that was Caleb Plant. You ain't built like him. And if you is, show it. Shit, I would love to. Shit, if Devin Haney gets slapped, I'll talk about it. I'm like, oh, this nigga Tiger, he tripping. They named you after an animal, nigga, but is you built like one? I don't know. And you, nigga said I'll slap you in front of your daddy. He talking crazy. I don't believe you, cuz. I'm sorry. I don't believe you, Delonte. I see Canelo slap Plant, but that was because Plant tried to slap him first. Bill Haney called Rolly out. Oh, shit. I'm about to call Rolly. Rolly won't answer the phone, though. He won't answer the phone. It's cool. I ain't going to do all that. But, yeah, I ain't about to be looking at Bill page, though. Should I? All right, let's see what Bill talking about. Says Devin Haney versus Rolly Romero, February 2026. Who wants to see it? Oh, shit. He wrote something before that. He said, Rolly Romero, your time is up. Do you still believe in that ugly, awkward boxing style, or are you just a comedian wearing a boxing outfit? Hey, Rolly. Hey, Floyd, is Rolly scared? Or is he just not listening to you anymore? Don't get quiet now. We're looking for you.
Devin is the weakest link.
This Debo shit is hilarious.
Did he just run?
There's no fear with Devin. Devin don't have no power.
I'm trying to make the Rolly and Devin. shit. I'm just trying to find out. I'm just trying to find out if we can make.
Okay, so Bill Haney talking his shit. He in his promoter bag. They was real quiet, but they out here. They out here tripping. They out here tripping. I'm about to text Rolly. Let me text Rolly. We're going to get the info right now. What's your reaction to Bill Haney calling you out to fight Devin in February? Let's see what Rolly say. Looks like they eyeing Rolly. I mean, they should. They should. Rolly hasn't really been optimistic in fighting Dev, though. Like, if you hear Rolly talking shit about Dev, saying that he's his biological father, and you know what I mean, all this shit, but you never hear Rolly say, "I want to fight Devin." Never. You never hear it. And I think it's for a reason. I don't think he really wants to deal with that style. I think he knows that Devin Haney's a tough style for him. And plus, he's not going to be there for Rolly to hit. That's the problem for Rolly. You know what I mean? Yo, we got the first word from Rolly, y'all. He responded. And it just goes to further prove my point. He literally just wrote this. 11:32. It's 11:32 right now. I said, God damn, bro. That's one thing about dealing with kids, bro. When they sick, you ain't got no choice but to take care of them. So you also get sick. Oh, man. Nigga said, bless you, Ryan. Slime, you getting timed out. I'm not even playing with you, bro. Man. Jesus Christ. Slime on bullshit. This nigga said, bless you, Ryan. Fuck out of here. Anyways, Rolly Romero just responded. He said, who cares? What's your reaction to Bill Haney calling you out to fight Devin in February? Who cares? You can't say this ain't Rolly, nigga. Because it is Rolly, nigga. Who cares? So, like I said, Rolly never been optimistic in facing Devin Haney. I don't know why, but if I had to guess, it's not the best style for him. I don't think that's a fight that he feels like he could be himself in and be successful. That was Timo Rolly number. That just sounds ridiculous. So you calling me a liar, Notorious? Do you know I have an actual interview with Rolly on my page right now? Do you know that? But if you really think about it, Rolly kind of stuck right now, man. Rolly kind of stuck right now. Like, if think about it, he told me himself, and I can scroll through the messages. He said he had 3 options on the table: Barrios, Ryan, Pacquiao. Right? Cool. Ryan and Barrios fighting each other. They fighting each other. So that eliminates 2 of them right there. Manny Pacquiao, I never heard him express interest in fighting Rolly. I could be wrong, but I've never heard him express interest in fighting Rolly. All I ever heard Manny and Pacquiao talk about is fighting fucking Mayweather in a rematch. You know what I mean? And I mean, if Rolly gets the Pacquiao fight, all right, that's cool. That's a good money fight for Rolly. You feel me? And I think that's what Rolly's in the game for. You feel me? Like, I think Rolly only wants to take big fights. I think he wants to take like money fights. And Devin Haney will be a money fight, but I think he wants the fights that he, could get money off of and then have a likelihood of winning or looking good in. You feel what I'm saying? Right, like Devin might be a big fight because he is the most popular name at 147, to be honest with you, along with, I guess, Ryan and all that good stuff. But is it a style that he could handle? Yeah, I think a lot of y'all, not y'all specifically, but I think people as a whole think Rolly's a dummy. Like, he's dumb. Like, he'll just he don't really think for himself. Like, something's wrong with him. Rolly is actually very intelligent. I've had conversations with Rolly in the past, and I'm like, okay. Because I ain't gonna lie, I had this perception of him like he was an airhead. He's not dumb at all. He might sound funny. He might talk funny. He may be funny. But I think people misconstrue that with him having some sort of low intelligence. He's not stupid at all. He's actually pretty fucking smart. So, with that being said, I think he makes observations of things. I think he knows what he can and cannot deal with. He knows what's best for him and what might not be so best for him. Devin would be a big fight, but I don't think it's a fight where Rolly really likes his chances. And that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. You know what I mean? And I fuck with Rolly, but I think that's the reality. I could be wrong, but I think that's the reality, y'all. Name one time where Rolly said that he'll fight Devin. Name it. You can't. All you ever do is hear him talk shit about Devin, calling him that he can't punch. You know what I mean? He's boring. He runs. That he's his biological father. Yeah, some of that shit funny. Yeah. That's, But are you willing to fight him, though? Because he is one of the best in the world. You feel me? So it is what it is. So let's transition to Devin Haney speaking about Conor Benn. Because Conor Benn been yapping ever since, because he was real fucking quiet. He was real humble when he lost to Chris Eubank the first time. But now that he beat an older, damaged, weight drained Chris Eubank, who wasn't even a champion himself, Conor Benn is out here popping his shit like he was before his first professional loss, right? So he was at the Devin Haney fight with Eddie Hearn, and they kept showing him in the crowd, and he acted like he was sleeping on Eddie Hearn's shoulder. All this corny shit. It's like Conor Benn is an absolute fucking clown. He's the biggest clown in my eyes, because it's like, bro, you really think like you're of the elite when you've never shown us that. Like, the best win on your resume is Chris Eubank, who I said was fucking weight drained. You had all these different stipulations against him. Wasn't a world champion in his own right. And the man is got more years behind him than ahead of him in the boxing game. Like, let's just keep it 1,000. Like, what are we even talking about for real? Like, you were finally able to beat a Eubank, right? Cool. Now you're talking about going back down to 147, and you out here popping your shit as if you somebody, like as if you're somebody. You don't compare to anybody at 147 because you don't even compare to a Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero has had 2 legit world titles and 2 different. He's had 3. He had a title at every division that he's been in, but he had 2 major titles in 2 of those divisions. You haven't even gotten one, and we all know why. Because the motherfucker from Philadelphia that's a part of your stable right now, that's a part of your promotional stable, you wanted nothing to do with. As soon as Jerron Ennis signed with Matchroom, you was quiet as a fucking church mouse. And I spoke about this yesterday. And I even brought up the video. Shout out to my boy Ralph for showing me the timestamp. You know, I was able to screen record that. So, and I sent this to Conor Benn as well. I don't know if he ever saw it, but let's hear Eddie Hearn's take, pretty much admitting that he got Conor Benn on a fucking protection program, like a witness protection program to avoid him from fighting Jaron Ennis. Hold on. Let's hear it right here. It ain't my words. Let's hear Eddie Hearn say it.
Could Conor Benn be successful in the rematch? Would he be a possible candidate sometime?
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll go to 47. But again, once you've been at 60, coming back to 47, it's not easy. Yeah. So maybe he comes to 54. Look, Conor's a world-class fighter, but you know, I'll be honest with you. I don't really want to put my guys in with him. Genuinely, you know, because I don't like having two guys fight each other anyway. I know it's inevitable, but you know, I want to see Conor fight Lewis Crocker, Marius Barrios, those kind of fights. And in time, he's getting better and better. But you know, this is Conor's a world-class fighter, but this is a guy that, you know, when you got someone as good as Boots, I want to see him fight the other guys, not my guys. Do you know what I mean? I want to see him go through and knock everybody over like dominoes.
These guys are talking about possibly bringing Boots to England.
And in Philly, we would call that a super bad John. Can you imagine that? Imagine how Conor Benn felt. That motherfucker went and took a whole that motherfucker went and scrambled all these eggs and ate all of them after he heard that shit. God damn. My boy Conor Benn was out here upset. Yup, Anonymous. I was gonna include that, but since you said it, Devin also tweeted Ben is scared to death of boots. We know that. That's crazy that you put them type of boots though. Those like the girl boots. Anonymous, what you doing out here? You know they got work boot emojis. Why you gotta put that one? But anyways, I'm just fucking around. But nah, man, for real though, we all know that. Let's just keep it 1,000. Like, we all know that. I remember there was another interview that Conor Benn was speaking about, and I could probably pull that one up too, to be real, because I forgot about this one. I should have brought it up yesterday. This was Conor Benn speaking about Jaron Ennis. And I brought this up several times already. And, you know, you'll hear Conor Benn say, like, oh, me and Boots, we can have it. We can have it. But then he's also said, damn, what was that one fucking interview where he called out like Pacquiao and Barrios? Damn, man. I be needing to save these videos. Well, I'll tell you what. Basically, Conor Benn said that Jaron Ennis isn't really known, and the guys that he wants to face are like Kell Brook, Amir Khan, all this bullshit, right? That's not the one that I saw. What the fuck was the one where he was talking about that? Damn, man. I wish I could find that shit. But anyways, y'all get what I'm saying. Eddie bitter as fuck towards Dev, obviously. Yeah, we know that. And we spoke about that yesterday. You know what I mean? And the main reason why Eddie Hearn taking that approach with Dev is because Dev didn't want, I guess Devin cut him out of the mix to do that deal with Turkey Al-Sheikh. You know what I'm saying? Because Eddie Hearn did this to himself. He was the first one to be disloyal, to be real. You know what I'm saying? Like when Sandor Martin and Devin Haney went to a purse bid, if you really was locked in with Dev, how you claimed you was, you would have put your bid in on that purse bid. You chose not to. So you let Devin Haney know, all right. You know what I mean? Like, we not locked in like that. Say that. So when Turkey Al-Sheikh was out here making deals with fighters, why would he include you in it? Why would he include you in it? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would we want to include middlemen in our deal anyway? That's all Eddie Hearn will be, is a middleman. Think about this, y'all. If you about to buy a car, right? Let's say you're gonna buy a fucking Toyota Corolla, right? That was the first car I ever bought. Toyota Corolla, right? And let's say the car costs $2,000. Well, let's say with the middleman, the car costs $2,800. But you find a way to address the owner, firsthand. You go around the middleman, and you find out the car is really $2,000. What would you rather do? Would you want to include the middleman in this situation and pay $800 more than you're supposed to, or do you talk to the boss directly? You talk to the owner directly, and y'all work directly together. When you cut the middleman out, you come home with a lot more money. You know what I'm saying? And when you're your own promoter like Devin Haney, you don't need middlemen in your deal. You could talk directly to the boss. You could talk directly to the networks. What are we talking about? So Eddie Hearn is not profiting off of Devin Haney no more. They're not breaking bread together no more. So he's gonna, he's gonna switch his loyalty around. He's gonna rock with Conor Benn because him and Conor Benn are making bread together. And let's just say Conor Benn breaks off Eddie Hearn. Let's say he cuts off Eddie Hearn and he starts doing his own thing. And let's say, he's still locked in with Jerron Ennis. You better believe Eddie Hearn gonna switch on Conor Benn. That's just the name of the game. You feel what I'm saying? Because you're gonna cater to whoever you making that motherfucking money with. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Hearn shouting it, he crying and having a fit about Richardson Hitchens claiming, announcing free agency. You know what I mean? You upset that, but you turned your back on the nigga you was making money with. You got mad that Hitchens out here trying to make money with other people. You mad that he gonna be scared to be making money with everybody else. You mad that he flipped on you, but you just did the same shit with Devin Haney. You deserve this type shit. You don't call Devin Haney boring, and nigga, you was never calling him that when y'all was making bread together. That's what make you fake. That's what make you fake. I never heard you not one time say Devin was a boring fighter. I heard you say positive things about Dev. I bet you if I pull up interviews from back when Devin was fighting, collabing with Matchroom and shit like that, you can hear Eddie Hearn say a bunch of great shit about Devin Haney. But considering the fact that Devin Haney's no longer doing business with you or breaking bread with you, all of a sudden he boring. You're fucking corny, cuz. Your narrative switch in accordance to who you making money with, you're a fucking clown. Because guess what? Atif Burrowtown, right? Shout out to Atif. We were working for, I don't know, like 2-3 years. 2 years, maybe 2-3 years. You can never hear me say anything different about Atif now that he's no longer working with us or working with me. I said that he was a gifted fighter, and I think he has all the potential to become a world champion in the future, right? He left us. He training with Tommy and Kello over there in Pittsburgh. Salute to him. I still say the same thing. I never switched up on Atif and was like, you know what, man? Nah, man. Atif, he ain't got it, man. 'Cause if I was saying that Atif got it and then when he left, I say he don't got it, that make me look like a nut-ass nigga. That don't even make sense. That just means that I'm reading off a script. And I'll only say positive things about people if they're dealing with me. My positive words about people are conditional. That's fake shit to me. Yeah, it's conditional respect. Anonymous, that's exactly what it is. And that's extremely corny to me. That's two-faced shit. You feel me? So, yeah, Junior, that's exactly what Eddie Hearn doing. He said Eddie Hearn sent his fighters to Riyadh, kept his bread and collected checks from Turkey. Brother don't do shit. That's a fact. That's a fact. He sent his fighters over there. He gets his little fee. you know, he could, you know, because since he got them, you know, under contract, Turkey had, you know, the fighters have to pay him a percentage of whatever Turkey give him, and he just be running it up, making his money. He don't have to pay for shit. He's basically letting Turkey borrow his fighters as long as he get a chunk of change. That's what's going on. All these promoters doing it. Bob Arum just did it with Brian Norman and fucking, you know, all the other top ranked fighters that he sent over there previously. Frank Warren, he's doing it. You know, they all doing it. They all selling their fighters for Turkey and getting a little percentage at the end of it. You know, it is what it is. I ain't mad at it. And, you know, to be real, as a promoter, who wouldn't do that? You know what I'm saying? Because let's say you invested $2 million into a fighter. This nigga Turkey Al-Sheikh he offering you $8 million. He offering, let's say Turkey takes your fighter for 4 fights and you end up, you know, getting back $5 million. Let's say like in, you know, chunks of change that you get from each one of those fights, it totals up to $5 million. You just made your return on investment and profit of $3 million off of this one fighter. Who wouldn't do that? And you're not putting no bread up. Turkey taking care of everything. You ain't got to worry about the press conferences. You ain't got to worry about, you know, booking a venue. You ain't got to worry about flying no fighters out, getting their hotels. You ain't got to worry about getting no food vouchers. You ain't got to worry about shit. You're literally just giving your fighter to them and you're getting paid just because you got them under contract. It's a smart move. You making money without having to do shit. Just because y'all got something in writing, you get paid. As a promoter, that's a layup. I remember before Turkey Al-Sheikh was coming up. I'll tell y'all niggas something right now. There was a promoter that my dad did business with frequently, but he had a strong business relationship with Al Heyman. He loved having Al Heyman fighters on his card. The promoter did, because if he let Al Heyman have one fighter on his card, he'll pay for the whole event. That's how Al Heyman did it. If you had one fighter, if you allow him to have one fighter, because he had so many fighters, he had to keep all of them busy, right? He's like, yo, let's get fighter A on your card. If you give me a slot on your card to put my guy on there, I'll pay for the whole event. Who the fuck wouldn't do that? Take care of the whole event. All you gotta do is put one of his fighters on. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Who wouldn't do that? That's what they doing with Turkey. They milking it. I ain't mad at it. Shit. That's very fucking convenient. You sit back and you get paid. Who wouldn't want to do that? But anyways, let's lock in on Conor Benn, bitch ass, because I seen what he said. And I don't know if I'm just talking shit. I don't know. But UK slang is so fucking corny. Like, so corny. Like, they try to talk shit, and like the whole time they just sound retarded. So this is what Conor Benn said. This is a picture of Devin Haney with P. Diddy. This shit is so played out. Like, Ryan Garcia was saying this 2 years ago, y'all. Super corny. But Conor says, Devin Haney, you little minge. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I'm assuming that's UK slang. Are you still suing Ryan for battery? Come see me soon and you'll actually be involved in an excited fight. We know where you practice all that hugging. Super corny. And this was Conor Benn's response to Devin Haney speaking on Conor Benn. He said, he's Eddie's little puppet. Eddie is his master. He does what Eddie wants him to do. Conor Benn hasn't accomplished anything near what I've accomplished. And I'm younger than Conor Benn. He hasn't done anything in the sport of boxing. His biggest win is against a weight drain guy, and he had to rematch him to get a win. Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that? Like, the fuck? I promise you I ain't read that. Everybody knows that, though. That's not like nothing new. I mean, that's not like a new point. Like, everybody knows that. You feel me? So Conor Benn responded with that. Devin Haney responds back and he said, you the same bitch ass nigga that tried to come and say what's up and shake my hand last night. Then get on Twitter talking tough. That's why I ain't shake your hand, because I know you really a bitch. That's why you tucked your tail and walked away. You want to argue on the internet for clout. So yesterday, 24 hours ago, Conor Benn and Devin Haney run into each other. Conor Benn tries to shake Devin Haney's hand. For what? For what? All that shit that you talked about with Dev in the past. See, that's how you know these niggas be fake tough, bro. Because you better believe about a what, bruv. Yeah, Sheldon. It means pussy. That's super corny. Super corny. But anyways, shit, my fault. I got caught up in the comments. So you try to shake, you was talking all this shit on the internet about Dev in the past just to see him in person and try to shake his hand. I'm glad Devin Haney ain't shake his hand. I'm glad he ain't shake his hand. Like, for what, nigga? Like, we not cool. So then what? Conor Benn has said something in response to this, right? So let me see. Conor said, "You was with all your security, you little fanny. Come try and step to me anywhere, and I'll iron you out then and there and then." And I actually responded to this. I'm actually the first reply you see right here. That's funny as shit. I said, go iron out the man from Philly within your promotional company that Eddie Hearn doesn't want you to fight because he doesn't fancy your chances, mate. Yeah, I'll be out here talking shit. I ain't gonna lie. That's why niggas be blocking me. But yeah, man. I just don't get this tough act from Conor Benn, bro. I really don't believe this nigga. Like, I really don't. He definitely swear he tough. And it was like, bro, you're an insecure nigga. Like, first of all, you did a hairline surgery. So that just let me know what take time you want. Not even that. Like, if you want to do a hairline surgery to get your hair back, you know, it is what it is. Not everybody want to be bald, right? But you did a beard surgery because you wanted to feel more like a man. Nigga, you did a beard transplant. Like a beard transplant, bro? Hold on. You think I'm lying? This nigga did a hair surgery, y'all. This nigga did a beard transplant. Like, what, nigga? You know how insecure you gotta be to do this? Look at this nigga. You did a beard transplant, bro. Look at these niggas going to work on you. Because you wasn't able to grow one naturally. Oh, my God. This nigga's a hoe, bro. He's a hoe-ass nigga. That just shout insecurity. Bella, how do you feel? Would you be cool with a nigga? Would you date a nigga? Let me ask you this, Bella. If you still here. Would you date a man that was so insecure that he had to get a beard transplanted on his face because he didn't feel like a man without a beard? Would y'all deal with a man like that? There's any women in the building. Please let me know. Would you feel secure with a man who does shit like this? Niggas who, imagine you wake up out of bed and you see this nigga with a side of his face toasted. Like, that's literally the male equivalent of a BBL. This is a man BBL right here. Niggas be insecure, like, man, I can't wait to go to. Nigga, you went and spent money to get your beard done? Conor Benn had a beard transplant in late 2019 at the British Hair Clinic to achieve a fuller beard because he was unable to grow one. Oh my God, look at this. Reason for procedure. Benn stated he wanted the transplant to feel more complete. Bro, if that ain't insecurity, I don't know what is. And then he says to look more menacing to opponents. What? You got a beard to scare niggas? You got a beard to scare niggas, cuz? Oh my God, this nigga's a bitch. You wanted to look more menacing to your opponent, so you went and got a beard. You was a hoe. What? I never heard this shit in my life. I never heard a nigga talk about they want to grow a beard to scare other men. That's low key some homosexual shit. Doing shit to appease other men, that's like really gay. I'm sorry. Like, that's super gay. See, like, Conor Benn wants to be a tough nigga. Like, see, I know niggas, and I'm telling you, I grew up with niggas who look like they every bit of 19, and they was bona fide killers, like really did crazy shit, like done woke hoods up in the middle of the night, lighting shit up. Of course, I'm not going to say who, but you get what I'm saying. Like, if you really like that, you don't need to get facial hair. Like, this is how far Conor Benn has gone to show you that he's an insecure man. This man done did a beard transplant. He puts weight stipulation on fighters. He tests positive for PEDs. This nigga tattooed his whole body. He wants to come across as tough because his whole life he's been known as the kid who had a silver spoon. So he wants to remove that narrative. He doesn't want anybody to look at him that way. So what does he want to do? He wants to feel tough. He wants you to respect him. He don't want you to look at him as like a silver spoon guy. He wants you to look at him as this tough nigga that put fear into your soul. Nigga, you're a bitch, nigga. You're a bitch. This shit just go to show you that Conor Benn is not like that. And as much as I don't want to see this drug cheat get an opportunity, I hope you do fight Devin Haney so he could box the shit out you. Make you look stupid in there, lunging into punches, no IQ having ass nigga. Don't even know how to triple up on a jab ass nigga. He's an Eggman on some nut shit. Facts. He the one who went to private school. And there's nothing wrong with that. Shout out to Nigel Benn for giving his son a great life. You know, taking care of him, making sure he had the best of things. There's nothing wrong with that. Devin Haney grew up similarly, from what I understand. You don't ever see Devin Haney trying to prove that he a tough nigga. He go in there and he win. He do what he need to do. This nigga say he got a beard to be more menacing to opponents. If you gotta do all that overcompensating to try to look tough, it's probably because you not. Like, and once I see him go around the whole Jerron Ennis situation, I knew he was a hoe. Niggas got selective smoke. He's a bitch. Conor, I'm sorry that you weren't able to grow something like this naturally. You feel what I mean? But maybe it was because you ain't have enough testosterone in your body. It's probably why you took them PEDs, because, you know what I mean, your testosterone levels have always been significantly low. You know what I mean? Your dick was damn near turning inside out. You was about to have a vagina in this motherfucker. So you had to go ahead and eat all the eggs that you could. You know what I'm saying? You was intimidated by the nigga Chris Eubanks, so you went and you used steroids and all that shit. You got caught. Your insecurities are showing once again. It just seems like that's a theme of his career, y'all. Just him being insecure and just trying to find ways around your insecurities. You know what I mean? Instead of just addressing them like a man, you just try to do other shit to try to get past it. You will never, I'm going to tell you this, Conor, you fucking sausage. You will never, and I'm sorry that your daddy never told you this, but he was an emotional man too, so he got some bitch in his blood too. You feel what I'm saying? That's why he can never beat you back. But the only way to truly get over your insecurities is, for one, acknowledging them, admitting that you have an insecurity issue, you know, talking about it, like, seek therapy, nigga. You, Gervonta Davis, all y'all niggas need to go see the best therapist that money could buy, because y'all niggas have some real internal issues. You, Gervonta, Ammo Williams, all y'all niggas need to go see a therapist. Any nigga who walk around with an artificial tail coming out the crack of their ass, them niggas need therapists too. There's really some weird niggas in boxing. There's really some weird niggas in boxing. There's no other way to put it. Like I don't really know what to say. Like if you getting dressed in the morning and you want to look menacing to your opponents like Ammo Williams, you stick a tail out the crack of your ass and you shadow box, and it looked like you just got a tail while you box. Like I know niggas be anime fans, but y'all gotta understand that y'all will never be those cartoons that y'all see on them TV screens. I hope y'all know that. Let's get a real shot and talking about, huh? Go look at Ammo Williams do like a media workout and go see that tail that be sticking out the crack of his ass. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Shit, I'm just saying. I'm acknowledging. I see it. Corey Smith said, don't forget about the eggs. Yeah, that was his excuse. That was his excuse. We all know that wasn't eggs, though. He was trying to get over on Chris Eubank because he didn't believe in himself. Conor Benn don't believe in himself. He know he not tough. He know he not tough. He know that he not built like that. That's why he does things to try to show people otherwise. He not trying to prove it to himself. He know he a bitch. He want to prove to y'all that he a tough nigga. And he not. He not. It's almost like that nigga who you know that be in the closet and he don't want you to know that he in the closet. So what he do? This motherfucker got 10 kids with 9 baby moms. Whole time he the biggest gipper out here. Like he is super gip. Like the nigga's a certified blade. You can have all the kids in the world. That shit will never take away from the fact that you like man's butt. That'll never go away. If that's something that's in you, it'll always find a way to come out. Conor, you're an unsure bitch ass nigga. No matter what you do, it'll never come out. I mean, it'll always come out. I'm sorry. No matter what you do, it'll always show you're a coward. And I've never heard of this. Like that's the first time I've ever seen this on my screen. Like I never heard of a nigga wanting to get a beard because he wanted to scare men. Huh? Where they do that at? Who raised these niggas? What Loaded Luck said, these is lost niggas. My bad, y'all. If I blow on my nose, this shit killing me, though. Nigga said his excellency. That's hilarious. Shout out to Corey Smith. Y'all remember how Ben Face looked after that first Eubank fight? Yeah. And he had him weight drain there. Nigga, weight drain Chris Eubank there. Still couldn't beat him. You try to take PEDs against him. You know what I mean? You put this man on weight restrictions, all types of shit. You still couldn't beat him. You try to make him do a quick turnaround because you knew he took damage. You knew he was older. And you know he wasn't going, holding that weight again was going to do more bad than good. You took advantage of him. Congratulations. Still ain't do nothing in boxing. I just don't believe Conor Benn. I don't believe him at all. I don't believe this tough guy act. Nothing. So it is what it is. I need to find that interview, y'all, where Conor Benn was talking about fighting Kell Brook, Amir Khan. That's the interview I need to find. I need to find that interview. So if anybody can find that shit, let me know. Boots said 3 years ago, we can make that fight happen anywhere, anytime. He's gonna get hurt. Yo, he ain't doing no rapping with that nigga, bro. It's like I remember what the interview looks like too. I'm gonna find that shit. When I saw that, I was like, "Oh, this nigga's scared. Like he real life scared." Watch, I'm gonna find that shit. Watch. No, J Cash. Let me I was using that as an example. I don't know how many kids Conor Benn has. I was saying like Conor Benn, he will always show that he's a bitch nigga no matter what. There's nothing he could do to like disguise it. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the man who we all know that has like 10 kids from 9 baby moms, but we all know that we all done heard that this nigga been in the closet. So he had all these kids like pretty much overcompensating, trying to prove to us that he ain't gay, but the whole time we know that he is. You can have all the kids in the world. We're always gonna know that you're gay. Like there's nothing you could do. Because if you like men, you like men. There's nothing that could really be done about that. That's how I look at Conor Benn. It's like no matter what you do, touch yourself from the bottom of your feet to your scalp. You know what I mean? You could get the beard transplant. You could take all the PEDs in the world. I'm going to always look at you as an insecure, bitch-made nigga. Like, that's just what it is.
In association with Betfred, joined by Conor Benn.
My boy R3 in the building said, I don't think Conor could beat anyone in the top 10 at 154. Let's talk about it. I mean, let's start with the champions. Can he beat Sebastian Fundora? I don't think he's going to be able to. I mean, he would have a chance because he got power. You know what I mean? He got good hand speed. Got good conditioning. But Sebastian Fundora going to be firing back. I don't know if he's going to be able to take that shit that Sebastian be putting out there. So that's one. I think Sebastian will beat him. So then let's talk about Bakram Mordazaliev. Bakram will counter the shit out Conor Benn. I don't know if he's going to be able to stand up to, that left hook that Bakram putting out there. So that's another one that I'm not too sure of. I'm not confident that Conor beats any of the champions. I don't know if he beats Xander Zayas. I think Xander will outwork him, outbox him. Abbas Barao, shit, that'd be a fucking war. I would actually like to see that. But Abbas probably be too much for Conor. I just don't like Conor got some good qualities, but like I said, he's never shown me anything to be top tier. Like I said, he's very predictable, in terms of like combination punching, his feints and like you know what he's gonna throw before he throws it. He don't set up his punches too well. He loads up on everything. Like a lot of his shit gonna be easy to see. That's why it took him 12 rounds to drop a dehydrated, weight drained Chris Eubank Jr. I don't know, bro. Yeah, like Conor's not anything special. And Eddie Hearn know that he ain't anything special. Because if he thought that Conor Benn was special for real, he would have been trying to line up that fight with Boots. You want your guy to get a world title? Why are you making him move down 2 weight divisions? That tell you everything you need to know. You about to have this nigga go from 160 to 147? We seen how that shit happened for Kell Brook. You about to do that to Conor Benn? Because you trying to get a world title. Why not get a world title in the weight class below? We all know what it is. I mean, do we really have to talk about what Virgil Ortiz will do to Conor Benn? Man, Virgil will have a fucking field day. Stylistically, he will have a field day with Conor. Oh, man, he ain't got to look for him. He going to be right there. He going to be trying to go band for band with him. Oh, yeah, this easy money. Oh, this easy money. R3 says, Mazuma, if Conor didn't have that last name, do you think Eddie Hearn will call Conor world class? Absolutely not. He not world class whether he got the last name or not, but Eddie Hearn understands that he can make money off of Conor because of his last name. So what he going to do? He's going to move him very carefully. You know, detour him around all the dangerous guys and try to keep him relevant for as long as possible. He's going to try to make as much money off of him as possible until the wheels fall off. And then by then, you know what I mean, he probably going to have Ben Whitaker selling tickets out in the UK. He's just going to he's going to drain every last bit of money out of Conor Benn, and he's going to move on to the next one. Because he did that with Anthony Joshua. Milked him, pause. Then, you know what I mean? He's getting ready to Eddie Hearn's about to finish up Anthony Joshua's career. Then, boom. Now we got Conor Benn. We're going to do this little run with Conor Benn. Boom. Then when he run out of steam, then we're going to go to the next one. Boom. Then we're going to go to the next. That's all they do. A lot of these promoters, they vampires. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just drain you of whatever you got, and when you're no longer of value, they kick you to the curb. That's what they do. That's why you got to get every dollar up out of these promoters before you go, because they're going to be doing that to you. Lamont ATV, what up? Junior said Eddie hyping him hope like he did Ricky Hatton's son. Yeah, Campbell Hatton. Yeah. But anyways, let's fall back off of this Devin Haney and Conor Benn conversation. You feel what I mean? Let's get into somebody who's actually worth speaking about. You know, somebody who actually is taking chances and proved to be great. Terence Bud Crawford. I've seen Terence Bud Crawford and Shakur Stevenson's. I don't know if it was Shakur Stevenson's camp. I don't know exactly where they were. I'm assuming Shakur Stevenson is in camp getting ready for Teofimo Lopez, even though they haven't announced the fight yet for some strange reason. You know, the fight's in February. We about to crack into December. Where's the fight announcement at? What's going on? What's taking so long for this fight to be made? Like I don't know. I think a lot of people are like just assuming that this fight is done. Bro, I'm a boxing fan. And I've been a boxing fan for years, bro. And I've seen people hype up fights for fights to not even happen. I've seen fans assume that a fight is going to happen just for it not to happen. You know what I mean? So I'm not the type of motherfucker that count their eggs before they hatch. You feel me? I think that's how you say it. Count your chickens before they hatch. Yeah, I ain't one of them type niggas. You know what I mean? I need to see some type of confirmation. I need to see press conferences. I need to see fight cards being made, you know, the undercard of the fight. I need to see all this shit because right now we just speculating that the fight done, but we don't know that. But anyways, Shakur Stevenson is in camp. He's sparring Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? Terence Crawford being a great mentor, great older brother figure to Shakur Stevenson, just keeping him sharp. And Terence Crawford has some words. You know, Terence Crawford hasn't, he hasn't been really too fond of Teofimo Lopez from past situations. You know, Teofimo Lopez calling Terence Crawford a monkey. and all this crazy shit, all these racial slurs in Terence Crawford's direction. Terence Crawford, pressing him in person just for Teo to fold. You know what I mean? They've had a few, situations. I remember after the Israel Mazuma fight, Teo Sr. ran up on Terence Crawford, and that could have gotten really ugly. But this is Terence Crawford's thoughts on Shakur Stevenson facing Teofimo Lopez. And Terence Crawford says this, y'all. He says, I don't know it all. But what I do know is Shakur Stevenson is beating the fuck out of Teofimo Lopez on fight night. Damn. That's the GOAT's words, man. That's the GOAT's words. And Teofimo Lopez was actually at Terence Crawford's press conference after the Canelo Alvarez win. And Teofimo Lopez had asked some dumbass question. And Teo was like, I got a question for you. When you going to fight Shakur? You know what I mean? So he's been really all in on the Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez fight. And I think it's for a reason. I think Terence Crawford is going to help all he can. I think he's going to give Shakur all the gems necessary to help defeat Teofimo Lopez because of the disdain that he has for this man. Now, I get it, bro. I don't like Teofimo Lopez neither. You know what I mean? I do think he needs some humble pie. I think he's very delusional. I think he's very disrespectful. I think he's a bona fide racist. That's just my opinion. So, of course, I would like to see this man get humble. I think everybody needs to be humbled at some point in their life. But Teofimo Lopez specifically, oh, yeah, he need his ass whooped. He don't need just a humbling. He need his ass whooped. He need bloodshed for the shit that he said about black fighters in the past. And, Terence Crawford don't forget shit. You know what I mean? Terence Crawford don't forget shit. He don't remember. He's not going to forget, the racial slurs that Teofimo Lopez had shot in his direction in the past. So, of course, Shakur Stevenson is his little brother. He wants to see him do well. He wants him to do great things in the sport. And part of doing great shit in the sport is by beating the shit out of Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez feels like he can say whatever he wants. He tries to rewrite history books by saying he was undisputed here and he was undisputed there when he was never undisputed to begin with. He thinks he's too big for certain fights. He tried to freeze out Devin Haney back in the 135 days. Just for that shit to come crumbling down. He loses to George Kambosos, makes all the excuses in the world. There's a bunch of foolery on Teofimo Lopez's part. You feel me? So it is what it is. Terence Crawford is helping Shakur Stevenson get ready for the fight, and I'm a huge supporter of this. So I'm sure Teofimo Lopez will respond to that sometime soon. But there's nothing really much to speak about outside of that. I guess we just got to see the fight be announced so we can continue speaking on this subject. You feel what I mean? So with all of the topics being addressed on the live, we're about to be an hour and a half in. Is there any questions that y'all have for the nation? Hold on, y'all. I got a little. This sickness is a motherfucker, man. Man. Yeah, I think it's super weird. And I don't think that's Shakur Stevenson's fault. I think this is Teofimo Lopez really trying to stall things out. I don't think he wants to fight Shakur. That's just me. I don't think Teo wants to fight Shakur, just like how he didn't want to fight Dev. You see how the way he led Devin Haney on, agreeing to terms, agreeing to the deal. You know what I mean? And then when the contract gets presented, all of a sudden he don't want to sign it. He was leading people on, yeah, I'm going to go to dinner with my family. I'm going to sign it after the dinner. Had Devin Haney hype like, oh, shit, I'm about to fight Teo. Whole time, Teo, whole intention was to make you believe that he wanted to fight you when in reality he didn't want to fight you. He wanted you to just believe that. Then he came out and said that he wasn't going to fight a Muslim in a Muslim country and, all this bullshit. But it was like, bro, you agreed to the terms. you knew that the terms included fighting him in Riyadh. You know that it included fighting a Muslim in a Muslim country. You agreed to it. To the point where a contract was sent to you. A contract not being sent to you unless you agree to the terms, unless you express interest in fighting. If you don't accept the offer, that's one thing. But you accepted the offer, you agreed to the terms. Like Teofimo Lopez has some iffy ass tendencies, man. Some iffy ass tendencies. So he could be doing the same thing with Shakur, where it's like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna agree to this, I'm gonna agree to that, I'm gonna agree to that. Now, when it's time to sign these contracts, you know, his pen can't be found. So he may very well be leading on Shakur like he did Devin Haney. That's a likelihood. That's a possibility. So we'll see. I don't trust Teofimo Lopez at all. Ralphie says, didn't Teofimo confirm he's fighting Shakur early next year? I mean, he could say whatever he wants. Where's the fight announcement? I could say I'll fight Shakur next year. Jesus Christ. This is what the British people call a shit show. My apologies. Shit. Whew. Yeah, motherfucker can say they fighting all they want. But how much are we to trust Teofimo Lopez based off of him being a habitual liar in the boxing world, him historically pulling out of fights? Why are we to trust Teo? Have I seen what Ryan's been saying, Jay? No. I mean, I have. But I don't really care too much for it. I really don't. Bully says Teo and Shakur are going to be a close fight. Shakur ain't going to be the one to beat him up. I heard it's the promoter. What does that mean, Bullies? What you mean? Shakur ain't going to be the one who beat him up. I heard it's the promoter. I don't understand what you mean by that, Bullies. Bullies follows up and said, do you see that Matias fight going to continue? I said there's a likelihood, and I told y'all there was going to be a likelihood because his levels were below the limit that New York State Athletic Commission has for Austrian. So it wasn't like fucking Ryan Garcia, who was 60 times over the limit. Regardless, that substance shouldn't be in your system. But he was below the rules. Like he was below the prohibited limit. So, New York State can't really hold that against him. They can't hold that against him. I think what's really going to determine whether the fight continues or not is if the WBC begins to strip him or not. Are they going to strip him? If they're not, then, the fight will continue. But like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see how Dalton Smith reacts to the news and how the way he's going to be psychologically going into the fight. And it's going to be interesting to see if that affects Sue Burrell psychologically in the fight. It's going to be very interesting to see. R3, I understand that like people in or around the situation may be speaking on Shakur and Teo fighting. But like I said, if everybody is so sure that the fight's happening, where's the announcement? We're not that far away from February, y'all. I hope y'all know that. We're in the last week. Like, nigga, it's about to be Thanksgiving Thursday. A couple days after that, we officially in December. 2025 is about to wrap up. February is at the top of 2026. Where's the announcement? Because if we hit January, once we hit February, it's going to be like, what, 6-7 weeks? No, I'm bullshitting. It's going to be more than that. If it's sometime in February, it could be from 12 weeks. 12 weeks until the fight is supposed to happen. 12 weeks or less. So what are we doing? They might announce it on Thanksgiving. Okay, so technically that's today because it's 12 in the morning right now. So if that's the case, we got something new to talk about tomorrow. Or are they going to announce it on Christmas? Are they going to announce it on the holiday? Shit. We going to see. And Muslims, I don't think they even celebrate Thanksgiving. So I doubt Turkey would announce that on Thanksgiving. Teo had been in about 5 negotiations over the last year and a half, and none of them have happened. Right. So that poses the question that I had earlier. Why are we trusting Teofimo Lopez's word all of a sudden? Because he went back on his word several times. And he admits that he's a liar, but he calls it pimping the media. It's like, I don't understand. Pimps usually benefit from, their tactics. You're not. Jared's about to get beat up again. Yeah, I seen Jared Anderson accepted that title eliminator against Frank Sanchez. I don't know what the fuck Jared Anderson doing. It's crazy how he had like this great rise. They was calling him the next great American heavyweight, and he was looking, he was looking crazy. He was looking like the next big thing. I had him sign my boxing glove over there with Ron Ennis. You know what I mean? I might have to just get an autograph from Boots with just his autograph. You feel me? But yeah, man, Jared Anderson was looking like that next up-and-coming heavyweight, and he knocking all these guys out. Then all of a sudden, he talking about how he don't love boxing, and, he don't really care to be a champion. He just want money and shit just going crying in front of Roy Jones. But I'm only 23. I'm only 23. There's so much pressure. So much pressure. I'm only 23. And Roy Jones trying to motivate him. Whole time he don't even hear what the fuck Roy Jones saying. He getting into high-speed chases, and the kid's a fucking knucklehead, bro. Tyree told him, yo, don't take that Bacoli fight. You not ready for that fight? Nah, fuck yo, what y'all talking about? Y'all gonna take this fee because I need the money. So that he go ahead and get his ass whooped by Martin Bacoli. That was Mazuma TV's ass whooping of the year last year. He came back, fought this dude. Looked like he won the fight, but looked like absolute horseshit. Let me get the guy's name right. No disrespect, brother, but we're going to get your name right, brother. Jared Anderson looked like absolute horseshit against Mario's Colias. I don't know how to say his name. You beat him by unanimous decision, but you damn near got knocked out in the last 10 seconds of the 10th round. You know what I mean? And since then, you've been quiet as a motherfucker. Now, all of a sudden, you'll be the one to accept that title eliminator with Frank Sanchez. I just don't see that shit going well, man. Frank Sanchez, he's lost to guys before, so it's not like he's unbeatable whatsoever. But Frank Sanchez, at the same time, is skilled. He only has one loss to, Cabiel, who I look at as like one of the best heavyweights in the division, to be honest with you. He steps up to the plate for the most part, man. He steps up to the plate. And one of my favorite performances from him is when he fought FA. Love that performance. But I don't know. This ain't looking like a good job for Jared Anderson. We're going to see. We definitely going to see. Bacoli took all the love he had from boxing. I mean, it may have killed his confidence, to be honest with you, but he lost his motivation well before the Bacoli fight. there's interviews that you can find right like before the Bacoli fight where he said that he don't love boxing. You know what I mean? Basically, he just good at it and he don't care for being world champion. He just want to make money. That's all he care about. You know what I mean? So it might have been a confidence breaker. It may have affected him psychologically. But at the same time, he was already affected psychologically because he didn't, he was burnt out from the sport. I mean, the kid's a fucking fool. What can I say? He do act like a fucking big baby. That's the perfect name for him. Wham. Bitch, I love baby. Exactly what the fuck you act like. It would be cool if Frank Sanchez becomes a champ, first Cuban heavyweight champion. That would be dope, but I don't really see that happening. Because I think in order to do that, he probably going to have to run into Cabello again. He don't want that. He need to leave Cabello alone. Him and Torres supposed to be America's next big heavyweights. I remember they was trying to build that up. Richard Torres versus Jared Anderson. And I was picking Jared Anderson. Crazy how them tables turn. And Richard Torres out here showing out. And Jared out here looking like dog shit. I really wasn't I wasn't really too big on Richard Torres to that Guido fight. I thought Guido was going to beat him. Nigga went in there and dogged the shit out Guido. Did you see that Jai Oppetay is frustrated at all the cruiserweight champions for ducking him? Hey, man. I don't really know what to say, man. It's like motherfuckers get ducked every day, B. You got to do something about it. You got to be more vocal. You got to get your name up. Motherfucker, you might have to move out to heavyweight. You can't get no, do what Benavidez did. When he couldn't get no opportunities at 68, going up to 75. Now, Benavidez ain't getting no opportunities at 75, so he about to go fight Zordo. Mexico versus Mexico. Cinco de Mayo weekend. Big fight. You got to go where the opportunities are, brother. You can't sit around hoping for things to just appear. You got to put the work in, brother. That come with the game. Some people get it handed to them. Some motherfuckers got to get it out the mud. Danier. Wait, what? Giant heavyweight might do something. Not gonna lie. Man, that's exactly what he should do, man. Why wait around hoping that motherfuckers give you an opportunity? Like, get it done, bro. Like, if you see that there's more action in another division and you capable of making it, do it. Don't waste your career waiting for another motherfucker, bro. Don't do that. Motherfuckers want to cry over spilled milk, bro. That shit done. There's nothing you can do about that. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? If you know deep in your heart these motherfuckers is ducking you, and you know you're not going to get an opportunity anytime soon, you got two choices. You sit around hoping that one of them wake up and change their mind, or you go look for other opportunities. Let's say you're unemployed. And you're trying to work at you're trying to work at Home Depot. You've been trying to get a job at Home Depot, trying to get a job, but they not looking at your application. They letting other motherfuckers in. They not looking at yours though. Are you gonna sit there and choose to be unemployed, hoping Home Depot call you up, or you gonna go look down there? You gonna go to the Lowe's and see if they hiring. You gonna go check over here to see if they hiring. You gonna go check over here to see if they hiring. You gotta go wherever the opportunities are, brother. So if you can't find it, you can't find it at this doorway. It might be at this doorway. Job waiting on 175 fighters to move up and fight him. Or you could wait for that. Because something tells me David will fight you. I don't know what that's a dangerous fight for Benavidez. But one thing about David, that motherfucker will fight you. So, I don't know. But the problem is, see, David might actually beat Zordo, right? So if he walk away with, those belts, then you could press David, and David might actually oblige you. He might oblige you. So we'll see. We'll see. Or maybe David will go back down to 75 to face Bivol or Better Beef. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even want David to move up the cruiserweight. Like, I think he could beat Zordo, but I don't think he should do that. I think he should press for that Better Beef fight. If Bivol's sitting around acting like he hurt, go ahead and try to shoot for that Better Beef fight. You beat Better Beef, cool. If you don't, all right, it is what it is. Get that shit back in blood. Run them numbers back up. You think David is chasing legacy by moving up 25 pounds? David's made it clear that he's legacy driven. He said he got money. See, there's people who in the game to just get money, and there's people that are in it for things bigger than money. You know what I mean? There's people who get a couple dollars and, they satisfied. That's all they really wanted. Cool. David been getting money. David said that he was making big money since he was 20 years old. Motherfucker been making money for about a decade now. His hunger doesn't stop after he get a big paycheck. That's people that actually earn it for more than just money. That's the fighters I tend to respect the most. You know what I mean? But I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love as always. If y'all can go ahead and hit the like button on the way out, that'll be very much appreciated. I got my son asleep. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go lay down with my boy and all that good shit, man, because this kid, he always ends up finding a way to wake up and running over to me, and he won't go to sleep unless I'm in the bed with him. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. You feel what I mean? I hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful night. Shout out to the real fathers out there, man. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to the mob. Hope you guys enjoyed this live. Y'all go ahead, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you'll know every time I'm going live. I'll be back at y'all again, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to continue cooking up what's going on in the boxing world, man. Until then, I hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.